Hey everyone, and welcome back to Yosemite Valley, and welcome to a little bit of a surprising episode. Welcome to the Arctic fox habitat. We are going to build this today, and even though I said it's not going to be in here, and I'm going to explain a little bit in a minute why I was initially not having it, and I'm also going to explain why I'm having it now. But first of all, reason being is that the scheduled handover of the zoo to someone else is at the moment delayed a little bit. By several reasons, but more about that on a different date. Today, we are really changing one of the most stressful areas for me because I really don't like it. I really do love 90% of the zoo, but I'm still not convinced with this area here, with the big cat area. And I really needed to change something to make this a lot more valuable for the guests to visit this, but it still felt like a bit of a dead end here for me. And I really wanted to give this a reason, give this a meaning, give this a certain feeling that makes you enjoy this a lot more as a visitor. And I thought, you know what, there is something missing just in this space when you enter, or basically when you exit the big cat house and you enter this little area beside the lake. And first of all, one thing that I really missed is a beautiful just view over the lake, you know. There was not a point where you could just sit down and enjoy the view over the lake. And the lake is just so beautiful. You can see the whole valley. You can see Half Dome to your right-hand side. And all these kind of things played into the fact, or like into the situation that I needed to change that area. I wanted to make this viewing platform over here, which turned out into a little bit of a terrace. And I wanted to make this a bit more of a just more exciting area to explore, so that this almost feels like a little area in which you really want to spend your time. That means either you go into the big cat area and the big cat house, or you want to stay here for a bit and, you know, watch the lions, watch the cheetahs, and now watch the Arctic fox. I know it's not a cat, and I thought about putting the clouded leopard in here because it also just needed a small footprint. But at the very end of the day, I decided to go for the Arctic fox for two reasons. The first reason is that it is obviously the newer animal when it comes to Planet Zoo, and, you know, trying to bring these in, and they fit a lot more due to continental reasons. Initially, I said I'm not going to have the Arctic fox in here, simply due to the same issue that I still have. Like the issue I had didn't change, and this was really the purpose of these areas, did not really offer me a space to give it. People commented that this was kind of utter bullshit because this is like North America and it's North American animal, and we have lemurs and stuff, so it doesn't make any sense to have to give the argument that I don't want to have it because I don't think it fits. And again, just for those who are new to the series, this series is not meant to be to only house North American domestic or local area animals. This was meant to go for a lot of nature reserves that have local animals available, but still this is a zoo, and they have tropical animals as well, and tropical houses, and also different animals from all over the world. I just wanted to make that a balance, you know, to have a balance between tropical animals that would never ever live originally in Yosemite Valley or whatever, but at the very end we also have other animals as well in here that, you know, need to have a housing provided that suits their needs and stuff. The Arctic fox for me is somewhere in between, you know. It's not a cat of any kind, so it doesn't really fit into the big cat area. It doesn't fit into the area where the fennec fox is, for example, or the other small carnivores with like the meerkats and stuff, because that is our African area. And the other area where it could potentially go is the wolf area, because that would somewhat fit with the timber wolf. But then again, it would make a lot more sense to bring the Arctic wolf in there as well, and I would get into some kind of trouble to bring like the Arctic wolf in, which I really don't want to, because like having two wolf species in there is just kind of weird. So I might have, I might delete the timber wolf, which then again would be crazy because the timber wolf is one of those animals that have a nature reserve here. So a couple of issues I still had with it, and at the very end I decided to go with the Arctic fox as like a little special at the end of the big cat house. At least it is a carnivore as well, and at least it just goes into, I don't know, it still doesn't fit from the story. But, you know, we don't always have to, follow the story perfectly, 100% accurate. And I just like the animal how it is. And I said I wanted to build a one-off build for the Arctic fox, which I might still do. There is a different idea I had, and I just found it not really suiting for the moment. Maybe I do that later, but for the moment I just felt it does still fit into Yosemite. And here we are. This is why I built the Arctic fox habitat. The architecture of the habitat is a bit inspired, like a tiny bit, at least this tent over here, by the Oceanographique in Valencia, because we've been there, as I said in the last episodes already, a couple of days ago when we were still in Spain. And there is like an Arctic tent in which you have the beluga whale, in which you have the, I think there's also some seals in, Arctic seals or something like that. There are definitely some penguins in, and this is really like a big tent, which kind of blocks out all the sunlight and stuff to make it really cool in there. And then it has like a very nice, a little like night sky appeal in there, like everything is dark and so on, to make it really suit to the Arctic, I guess, Arctic feel, you know. And I thought this was a good idea because for the Arctic fox, we definitely need like a cool area for the summer days in Yosemite where they can go back. And I wanted to have something that is at least semi-open and not only completely blocked in like a blocky house. And you can see there is still a blocky house with a little bit of a cutoff area, but this is more or less like the maintenance house and which the animals can go in. You will see more about that in the real-time part. This will definitely give you a little look. And what I also did, and this will be the story of the next upcoming episodes of Yosemite anyways, I tried to really recycle as many elements that are already in the zoo. Because when it comes to zoos, there is always this ongoing pattern of pieces that you keep on using. You would recycle a lot of things that you don't need in one area, but you would use it in another area, because zoos are not like theme parks that just build completely new areas. Most likely they don't do it, but they always try to just kind of reuse pieces and stuff that they have used previously and don't need anymore, or they try to use the same stuff all over again to keep it simple and yet maximize the effect of these things. Basically, props go back to Eben. He explained that in one of the koala episodes, and I found that very interesting. And I thought, you know what, that's one of the biggest things I need to do in Yosemite, to get the same style of some pieces that we already created in the past and bring them over into other areas as well, so that the fingerprint of this whole zoo keeps on going into all areas. And I think this is really cool by doing so. It's, you know, it's kind of also making the progress a lot quicker to build. You don't always have to build like again and again a new fence. I like to do new fences every now and then, but you know, as soon as you have just so many, you can also use them. Why not? And just mix and match them in a different way, and you're already there. So that's pretty cool. One thing I gotta say though, you will see a couple of changes in the real-time part, and you will also see that the interior of the Arctic fox habitat will not be done. There is a specific reason to why this is. I wasn't lazy, or I put a lot of hours into this build, to be honest. A lot of stuff that, you know, the game crashed on me and stuff is cut out, so it was like good old 3 hours or so that I spent into this habitat, so it's not really like a short one. But I figured I want to keep some things intentionally away from you because of the final release of this build, and also because of the final tour. For those of you, and I know that there are so many really hardcore viewers of this series, which is insane. I love that. You know, I know that there are at least 1,000 people that really watched every single episode, every single minute of this project, and they basically knew. I think they know more than I do, because they just spent more attention to what I did than I did myself. So a lot of comments actually show me that. And it's pretty brilliant that it is the way it is, because you guys keep on giving me all these hints and notes and nuts, you know. And I want to be the best experience you can have by also keeping something secret for the final tour. And this is going to be a pattern from now on in the next episodes, to keep some things away from you that are already done, but I just intentionally do keep them away, so that there is a lot of special stuff coming in the final tour that we are all able to explore together. I hope this is something you guys enjoy. And speaking of which, I hope you guys are going to enjoy the real-time part as well, because in a couple of seconds we will switch over into the real-time part. So I hope you enjoyed the voiceover. I see you on the other side of the cut, and till then, enjoy the last seconds of the time lapse. All right, so here we are in the real-time part, and you can see we are in the big cat house to show you what changed. This is where we go out of the big cat house, and oh boy, look at that, bam, the view completely changed. Everything is a lot more open. Everything is a lot more inviting here. Yes, in fact, in the summer, it's obviously also a lot more hot, also more windy. So in the valley down here, so a couple of disadvantages as well. But I opted for this design because I just felt, you know, with this vista here of Half Dome and just this overall a lot more open area now, this is a lot more enjoyable to see. So cool thing is we can see a couple of things from over here that we couldn't previously. I deleted a lot of trees, so you can actually spot this viewing terrace over here as well, so giving you a reason to go there eventually because you have seen that one. The same goes also for obviously other parts of the zoo we are going to talk about in a second. And if you go straight, you are basically faced here with the Arctic fox habitat, which is sunken in a little bit, so that they are having a bit more of a privacy, and you know, you don't get all the attention from the people. They're a little bit distance also from the viewing potential of the people. So yeah, that is definitely something I did on purpose. And you can see them playing down here, lovely stuff. We also have a black one somewhere roaming around. Maybe we're gonna catch that on the tour. And yeah, so one thing was that I explained in the voiceover to make this area a lot more interesting to go to, and also just, you know, bring in sorry, I was hesitant here a little bit because I had already 2 crashes by trying this. So the third attempt on doing the real-time zoo tour, I really hope this time it's not gonna crash on me. But yeah, so the main purpose was to just make this area a bit more interesting, but also it is the beginning of the layout change of the zoo to make it a lot more enjoyable to go around. So you can see, oh, look at that, we have the lions over here going through each other, nice. Hitbox is something for the week. So this is also a wonderful peek into the lion habitat from the backside. It already existed, but it was so much of a dead end and so much of a unnecessary thing. Like, no one really would love to go here because it was really redundant, to be honest. Like, there was nothing to enjoy about this. And now we have a lot more open space. We've got this canopy over here. We've got the view obviously inside of the Arctic fox area. So imagine in summer days you would see the lions outside because, you know, hot, and they might enjoy the sun and they won't be too much inside. And on the other hand, the Arctic fox might be a lot more in this area over here because that is cooled, and that is the cooling tent over here, which gives you also a bit of a nice peek inside, and also at the same time granting them some privacy by making that one-way glass as well. So you can see, look at them, they're just enjoying overall the area. This is the black one I was talking about. Love it. I love that black pattern. I really find that super cool. Oh, look at that. I didn't know they do this on stones as well. Look at this. They're even doing this animation on stone. That is so funny. I mean, that would be a very, very hard knock on stone. But, you know, do what you want. It's fine. If you have that hard of a head, that's totally fine. But, you know, go ahead, do it. But yeah, so this is the stuff I was going for as well. As I found that this area with the lake was completely misused, and actually it was basically ignored for whatever reason. This is another little view inside of the not finished habitat yet, as I explained in the real-time in the voiceover. This is also like a little bit of a peekaboo for the kids, you know, so they have a better view inside of the Arctic fox habitat as well. So this is kind of the idea. And on the other hand, we have the lake. And the lake is something that was so much ignored that I thought, you know what, we need this view. We need to force the people to enjoy this view because it's just so good. And it also gives you a peek of what you are going to enjoy. So if you look over here, you can see the mandrills already climbing there in the distance. Look at that. They give you a reason to go there, because previously the mandrill habitat was again also one of those most forgotten items of the zoo, and now it really got a wonderful repurpose here by also being seen from the other side of the lake. And you can now see how the big ape house does transition nicely into the background. You can't even see this from this point. And on the right hand side, you can see the safari habitat with our friends, the giraffes. You can see the rhino, you can see the ostriches and stuff. So really gives you a reason to go on your journey of the zoo. And then you can see I put some of the Halloween stuff here as well. I think it looks kind of neat to have it over here, like with a half dome and stuff. I think this is a kind of very nice view over here with pumpkins and stuff. Yeah, maybe not like 100% perfectly done, but I think I like this, mixing the enrichment items in between and some of the self-made pumpkins here. I think this is kind of cool. It's definitely working with these little skittle feeders down here. I think it's really working. Oh, I should have just sunken that in a tiny bit more so you don't see the enrichment spawner, whatever. But yeah, this is just like a little bit of a special here. Oh, look at the elephant in the water here in the back. Oh, what a wonderful view. You could even see the prairie dogs, but they're too small, so you don't see them. So this is that from this side, and then you have got a very nice picnic area. You've got this telescope thingy we can see on the other side. So really kind of a nice inviting area now. And obviously, if you turn around, you can have another little peek inside of the Arctic fox habitat, just as I do right now. Look at them roaming down here, and this then brings you back into this area. If you fancy doing so, you get back in here and you can keep on exploring the area. So this is not a dead end. It doesn't create a dead end at all. It does actually create another little area of the zoo, and I think just in general the view from over here does sell everything, you know. There's just no denial that we were missing something like that. I just really do enjoy this a lot more now. This is definitely a view that we were missing, especially in the big cat area, and I really think it did it. And the job is done, by the way. The job is done of making this area a lot more enjoyable, I guess. So yeah, I hope you guys have the same feeling as I have, and we can see each other in the next episode. One important, very, very important thing, because you guys were very happy with this idea, and so we will do this. Today you will have the chance to download this file, especially this file from today's work. I will upload this as a work in progress to all oh God, my talking is broken. Work in progress to all of the members of the YouTube channel. You will find this in a member-only YouTube post today. So if you guys want to become a member, it's only 99 cents, and please make sure to leave it as an exclusive to those people, because it was something I didn't want to do, but they just gave this idea to me, and I thought, why not? It's kind of a big project. I worked nearly 2 years on it, and I think 99 cents is not like not a cash grab or anything. It's just like a little bit to not push it out to everyone quite yet. If you don't want to, obviously this is going to be a free zoo when it's going to be released around Christmas for everyone. I just want to reinforce that. If you don't want to, you don't need to. You will get this for free. It's not going to be a sold project at the end. Don't you worry about that. It's just for those of you who want to have this exclusive zoo and just explore it yourself now already. You can do so, but you don't really have to. It's just like a little bit, but you can become one for 99 cents, and then yeah, you will see the post and you can download the link with this file in. Just put in save files and there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, thank you for your ongoing support, and yeah, as always, if you guys enjoy the content and haven't subscribed yet, make sure to consider doing so. That helps me out to grow, and if not, that's fine as well, and have a good time. Stay safe everyone. I talk to you next one, and goodbye.